For our next guest, wasn't quite enough. He decided to cycle around the world. And here he is tackling the uphills of the Tioga Pass in Yosemite National Park.
Tioga Pass is a very special road indeed. It's steep, obviously, climbing 1,000 meters in just 16 kilometers. But it's not really the big climb that's the thing. It's the mountains and the colors. It's an incredible thing to do. It's just beautiful, but it is hard work.
Edson, welcome.
Thanks very much.
Great. As a cyclist myself, I'm so envious of you doing that kind of thing. But let's go back to the start. How did it all come about? Because you were living in Barcelona at the time when you decided to embark on this adventure.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do something different with my life. And actually, the company sent me to do a marathon in Sierra Leone for one of the charities that I was raising money for, Street Child. And I guess doing something like that, it just puts everything into perspective.
Yeah.
You think about your life and what you're doing with it, and you realise, actually, I can do something that really makes a big difference. And just a small amount of money can completely change a life out there. It puts a child in education, gets them back with a family and living a normal life. But I'd had this dream, and it was something I wanted to do. I felt I had a big adventure in me. And
wanted to change things.
Yeah, I wanted to make a difference, and for me it was the big adventure. And I've been really into sport and triathlon, and I guess it was just like, well, I've done Ironman.
Feels like the next thing to do.
What do I do next?
So you're all set to head off around the world, and then something life-changing happened just as you were about to go. You met someone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is the way it works, isn't it? You know, you've been single for quite a while, and, you know, nothing's happening, and you're hoping for something, but nothing ever happens. Then you decide, right, OK, I'm going to quit my job, sell my home, and cycle around the world for a few years. And literally 4 weeks before I left Barcelona, I met this girl and fell in love.
And there you are with her. And she is here with us now. Paola, come in.
Hi, Matt.
Hello, nice to meet you, Paola.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
So, listen, Paola's now on the scene. You gave up? You thought you were going to stay at home and, you know, make a life together? No, none of it. You embarked on the trip, or at least part of it,
Yes.
At the start with Ed as well. It must have been a bit full-on for you, thinking, I met this guy, I really like him. He's about to cycle around the world. Shall I do some of it with him? What was that like?
Well, at the beginning, I thought it was a little bit crazy, but I thought it was fantastic for someone to do something like this, especially for, you know, his reasons. And then, you know, things changed, you know, along his way. He had something planned, and then he changed many things just to include me.
Yes, because you're from Colombia.
Yes, I am.
So did the route change? You headed off through Spain and Africa, down to South Africa, and then you flew to South America.
I'd gone across Europe, then down Africa. I'd done Africa, fortunately, with a guy from Barcelona. But halfway down, I realised how strongly I felt, and decided I wanted to propose. So I got...
Big smiles.
Instead, I was originally going to go to North America and cycle down, but instead I flew straight to Colombia in the north of South America with a ring.
Fantastic. And you proposed and you said yes.
Yes.
You did it. I know you said that South American bit was your favourite bit because you rode a lot of it together, but then you headed off again on your own. Just bring us to the end then. Where did you go and how did you finish the trip?
Well, after the honeymoon in Colombia, we said goodbye for a while, and I took off from Panama all the way up to Vancouver. Then I did New Zealand and Australia.
And what dangers did you sort of meet along the way?
Well,
what was the worst bit?
Well, I was actually hit by cars on 2 separate occasions, and the truth is, with cycling, it's not what you think it's going to be. It's not.
No, I was going to say wild animals or bandits or something like that.
Everyone's winding you up, saying, you know, you're going to get kidnapped and this is going to happen.
Or
and
a puncture, nightmare.
Oh, punctures, yeah, punctures.
Many of them.
Yeah, I lost count on the punctures. But no, I mean, there were some hair-raising moments. The north of Kenya is actually very tribal. And going through there, a policeman actually stopped me with a huge machine gun and a grenade strapped to his chest and told me that the next part I was cycling actually wasn't safe because of bandits.
You got your hands up in this shot as well.
That was in Egypt.
Yeah, of
that was
course.
at the start, and this one's just entering Ethiopia. So we got crowds wherever we went because white man on a bicycle. It's like, what is this?
Yeah,
so, and that was Alex's bike, the bike of a friend who was cycling with me in Africa.
Just finish off, because you've been back not for that long, and I know I know you've been adjusting to life off the bike. I mean, it must be weird just coming to our bright and vibrant studio. It's weird for most people, not if you've just been going around the world for quite a long time on a bicycle. What's the one thing, apart from falling in love and getting married, what's the one thing that you've learned, that you've taken from the trip around the world?
I think it's really to dream big and really set yourself big goals, because you think it's impossible. You think you'll never be able to do this thing. But actually, the more you think about something really unachievable and you try to do it, eventually things just happen and come together, and friends get behind you, and you find actually this is possible and I can do it. And then you just take each day by day and you get there.
I think your wife in particular is very wise by saying that instead of trying to control everything, sometimes you've got to let things just control you a little bit and go with the flow. And it's a really wise view to take. It's lovely to meet you both. Fantastic story. Great that you're both together.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your lives together.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
coming in.
Thanks.